Okay. All right. Now we had 36 people. Now we got 0 people.
Yeah,
God damn it.
they'll come back. Nobody's got
I-
lives here, man.
I did this early. Oh man, Randy, I needed that, man.
Yeah, there's one.
I worked it out earlier. I guess I probably had a few beers and I wasn't quite thinking. I didn't realize I have to kick myself out and not end the stream because the issue was not having to pay StreamYard $50 to get 2 camera angles. So I actually went on with my phone was the second camera.
Yeah, and if you have a newer phone, you can do a split cam with the
Yeah.
Figured it
phone.
out, Brent?
Yeah, I did. So I did split it, but I didn't realize that my phone had the same power as I have here on my computer. So
Yeah.
now I know to kick the
So are you
turntable, video out, and then not-
streaming with your phone or are you on a laptop?
I'm on my laptop here,
Yeah,
but the turntable is my phone.
right. I got you. So
On-
how are you connecting your phone to your laptop?
I'm not. I'm going in as a guest.
Oh, okay.
Do you have an old shitty phone that you could just hook up to Wi-Fi and use like a tablet?
No, but it is
Okay.
it is set up. It is running Wi-Fi. It's not a shitty one though.
So just next time you replace phones, just keep the one you have and just use it as a tablet.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, John, what's happening, homie?
Hey, not much.
What's up, Bip? How you living, man?
Yeah, all right, Eric.
Best head of hair in the VC over there, man. Shit.
That's right. Him and
You're
Bobby
right behind
Gass.
me, Eric, or right in front of me.
Bip's only, but Bip's one of the few people I see in the vinyl community that I'm just like, damn, he's one of the few guys that I look at it, I was like, I wouldn't have to cut his hair if I met him in real life. You know what I mean? There's some people out there, you're like, what the fuck you doing in your life? You know what I mean?
There we go.
So I'm making myself
here we
fancy
are at
gin
the
drink here.
This is the official after show chat.
Hey,
So
Eric.
what was that last album we heard?
That was Outside Inside, Blue Cheer.
Oh, that was
Remember,
Blue Cheer.
I
Okay.
played a couple songs on Hydra from it, but I didn't play the whole
Yeah, I
album.
remember the cover. Seeing the inside cover, but I only caught the last side, and yeah, it sounded
the
just
one
like
you-
Blue Cheer.
Is the one you have a gatefold unipack?
Yeah, it's the same one. The extra little flap is on the inside.
Yeah, I hate unipacks. That's like my biggest pet peeve.
They're really
Yes.
difficult to
I
pull
don't think
out.
I have that. That's one I don't have.
And this is like, it's one with like a hinge. So it's like a flip fold, and then the unipack's right here, so the record comes out of the middle in the gatefold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but I've been looking for this one for a while, man. New and improved. That's the only
When'd
one
you-
I don't have.
When did you pick that up?
2 days before you mentioned that, you got this.
2
Like,
days
we must have,
before.
Yeah, so I mean, I got this like a week ago because it's been like a little week because that was at Pharmacy Records, and then I just picked up that fat mattress most recently at whenever I texted you, whatever, like a week ago. So it's a couple days before that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to
cover
make a
of,
video, man. I've been getting some
I
killer
feel
shit
like-
lately.
I feel like this is deja vu, but did I show this last time?
I didn't see it. If you did show it,
Blue Cheer.
Oh, is that the
live.
demos?
67 demos. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you
there's not-
showed that, but I've seen that
There's not
before.
much on here. It's like second time around, Dr. Please and Summertime Blues, but this was Sunday's beat
3
rocket.
songs on that album. Huh? They must be long.
Yeah, but they're long, man. I mean, I think there's 15 minutes for that. Hold on a second. Let me see this.
yeah, I've been getting some killer shit lately. I don't regret a single record I've purged. Just all the random blind buys that never mattered, and second tier of every single genre, and just like I was looking around my collection, like I don't need the babies in my collection, and I'm not knocking it. I own it for a reason, but at some point you're just like, dude, if I can get rid of this, whatever record and bring a Ramones gap in the collection, then I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
No,
That's
Dr.
not an
Please-
easy. That's not an even swap. The babies for the Ramones.
no, don't get me wrong. You have to get rid of some other crap to trade the babies for the Ramones. It's not just like, hey man, you have that first press gold stamp promo of the Ramones? Can I give you this
Yeah.
$4 Babies record?
I'd never,
Give you
I'd
this,
never
yeah.
get rid of my Babies records though.
I know
Yeah.
you like the Babies. That's specifically why I said it, man. I know you're pro Babies.
They got a couple good tracks.
Here's
Yeah, I'm not. Because I owned it, so it's not like I do. Like, if I were to shit on it too much, I'd be shitting on myself.
poster that came with it.
Oh, cool, man. Fantastic.
Hey, here's a debate for
Got that
Randy.
60s.
Randy with the whole panel. Where did heavy metal start?
Heavy metal for me, I couldn't tell you. I would say, for me, with popularity, would be Black Sabbath.
I
But
was going to say that's the go-to.
Yes, I always hear Sabbath, Zeppelin, and Blue Cheer. Sometimes Deep Purple.
Well, I think people make a mistake. There was heavy metal music and heavy metal bands. Like Zeppelin played heavy metal music, some like Whole Lot of Love or Communication Breakdown, but they weren't a metal band. They'll do acoustic, they'll do blues, you know.
Yeah.
So Sabbath was a metal band. They played metal.
And like the term heavy metal was coined in Cream magazine for Sir Lord Baltimore.
Yeah, it was Sir Lord Baltimore. I couldn't remember who it was for.
Well, that's
And that's
70.
dude. That sucks. That's something I had to leave behind recently because I'm being smart on my dollar and I'm trading in. So if I already own stuff, I can't finagle too much and take losses just trading for better copies of stuff. But the two Sir Lord Baltimore albums came into the shop recently, like 2 months ago, in really clean condition. And I had represses and I just had to let them go. But I mean, if scenario was different for me, I just would have traded my old and paid for the gap. But
I get the first one's a
That's
lot better
must-
than the second.
That's a
one,
must-have. Yeah. You know,
yeah, I like the second one though. But I think if you like the first one, like if you really like the first one,
Right.
you'll find value in the second one.
Yeah.
Now, I've
But if you
talked about this
think the first
before.
one's okay, then I probably wouldn't.
There was a story I read in Rolling Stone a long time ago. I think I still have the magazine. So the first Sir Lord Baltimore was coke-driven, weed. I mean, these guys were fucking hammered. So they're on coke, they're on weed, they're on hallucinogenics, and it shows in the music. It's frantic, it's fucking insane, it's killer. I mean, it's one of my favorite albums from 70, 71, around that era. Now, Sir Lord Baltimore, the second album comes out. I forget the drummer's name, but he finds God, and the guys have mellowed out, and they're not drinking, they're not smoking anymore, and of course that shows in the album. It's a lot more mellow and introverted, and the subject matter is a lot different, more religious. And the second one is more, he's talking about getting pumped up and banging chicks and running around and causing. all
I
kinds of
forget.
trouble.
I forget what Grateful Dead album was. They were supposed to record on downers, and someone brought uppers. So there's like a similar story for that with Grateful Dead. I can't remember. Someone could Google it. I can't recall what album it is offhand. Though.
Yep, Sir Lord Baltimore is great. Yeah, he passed away, I think, a few years ago. He was on social media. I think he was on Facebook or something like that. He was talking about how he was sick. Issue with his liver. He's like, I'm not good, man. I'm not well, and I'm sick, and my liver. And then he just disappeared, and then we found out he passed away. So it's fucked up.
I never understood how those bands can jam when they're fucked up on that shit. I mean, I have a bootleg CD. I played it on my live streams before of Fleetwood Mac live in Louisiana at some club, and somebody spiked the water. So they were all, that's
The
where.
water. Not even like
Not even
Yeah,
the
'cause
beer
Peter-
or the whiskey.
Right.
there's nowhere to get away. It's not like the spike the drinks or you drop some acid in the beers or whatever. Like the water, you can't get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Peter Green never, he never did that shit, and he was pissed off about that because,
I don't want to be dosed.
yeah, I mean, especially when you
Yeah,
don't
I
know
think you
about
could play on any drug, but LSD, forget it. I don't know how you pull it off.
it. Yeah.
And I think AZ Mick will back me. There's a lot of those early Grateful Dead like live tapes where they're just horrendous. Acid. I don't know if you could even plug your guitar in. Or fool with the knobs.
Yeah, I couldn't even remember how to walk on acid.
Well, isn't that like the thing about like Iron Butterfly that barely could stand up? They didn't even know where they are. Like fucking In the Garden of Eden turns into Indigata Vita. It's supposed to be like a fucking 3.5 minute song. The first time they recorded it was like 34 minutes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the Garden of Eden, but he couldn't even say in the Garden of Eden.
So you could have like a fucked up front man, but like you still need drums and the guitar player's got to remember what the chords are. You know, like the Doors are a good example.
Just doing their own thing, just fucking just say we'll figure it out. Rhythm guitar just standing there like I don't know where to go with that. You know.
Crazy.
You need the rhythm section to be fairly on, you know.
Like that album I got, Uba. You guys heard that one?
Uba.
They were Canadian. I think they were French Canadian, but that album I got.
What's up, Rachel?
It's like 2 songs, and they're fried out of their minds. You can just hear it in the recordings, you know. They're like Uba, Uba, and they're just going nuts, you know. But it's such a great song, you know. After I heard it the first time, I was like, man, I don't know about this. And then every time I hear it, it just gets better and better. And then you realize how baked they were, man. I mean, it's just...
Well, sometimes it works out. Like, again, it's the first Sir Lord Baltimore. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
But they mellowed out, and again, you could hear, I think in comparison, it's kind of lame, the second album. Not that it sucks. It's just it's yin and yang.
It's totally different
monster, you know.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Which is the one with Caesar, Hail Caesar, whatever Caesar,
that's
Roman.
The second one, yeah.
I love that track, man. It's slow and like dirgy, but I love that track.
Yeah, it's got a couple parts to it. It is pretty cool.
The way he sings, it reminds me of what the Cult did in the '80s a little bit.
Yeah, and that the Man from Manhattan has got that same kind of vibe off that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Those are probably the 2 best, huh?
Yeah, off that album, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I love the Cult, man. Love that band in the 80s. Love them.
Did you?
I still have that.
Are you joking?
That love record is fantastic.
I have, I don't know, most of their stuff. I mean, even some of their later stuff I have. It wasn't as great, but it was still pretty good. But I have their all the cassettes I got rid of. I kept a few of them, and that's one of them. You know, the Southern Death Call on Beggar's Banquet. That was a pre-Cult. You know.
Did I tell you I saw the Cult? Did I tell the story on this stream where Ian Astbury kind of made fun of me, or
the rockabilly thing?
Yeah, it was fucking bizarre. Like, I don't know if he made fun of me or he saw me and then had rockabilly in his mind, but then he was kind of yelling at the crowd. This ain't rockabilly oldie show.
He said, we're not doing any of that shit, right? Is that what he...
Yeah, and he started singing, like, let's go to the hop or something like, ooh, my baby. Like, it was weird. After he looked at me, I mean, it wasn't directed to me, but it was just fucking bizarre.
Yeah, you were the one he pointed out. We're not doing none of your kind of stuff.
I think he was just mad at the old people. You know, like a lot of people were sitting.
I got a record.
I got a record today.
No, I was up like this. You know, we were in the aisle, but I think he just kind of connected it all together or something. I don't know.
I bought this record today, the Junk Monkeys. They're a Detroit band. And inside it was this catalog here. There's Zappa on the back. But it's from like 91, but it's got all these old, a lot of them are metal from the looks of it. Have you heard of these Metal Blade records?
I probably have a good chunk of them.
Active Records, Under One Flag.
Yeah, Under One Flag, absolutely.
Music for Nations.
Yeah, that's English. Yeah.
Rough Justice, and Food for Thought, and then there was Zappa Records. But there's like
that's the Music for Nations logo on the front cover.
But it's pretty thick catalog to stick inside a record.
That's pretty dope.
What's the Zappa relation?
Here's all the Zappa stuff here. You know.
Holy shit! Yeah.
So, do you think that's something that was that shoved in the record, or do you think it came with?
Oh no, this was sealed.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I opened it, I'm like, wow, this is pretty thick. It must be a cool post.
And what year is that from?
91.
What's that?
91.
Yeah, shit like that. I love all that. Whether it came with the records or like time capsule stuff. Like I love when you open an old record and there's kind of like a discovery of something random you didn't expect. You know what I mean?
There's the labels.
Yeah, they would distribute, like Music for Nations would distribute the American stuff off Metal Blade. It was they distribute each other because they only had rights in each country. Under one flag was a different country, if I remember.
Well, what's the label that Zap? Is it Barking Pumpkin or is it another label that they're talking about?
No, this is Zappa label.
Zappa
Records.
label?
Yeah, Zappa. Right there, Zappa Records.
Zappa Records. I didn't know there was a Zappa record.
Is that a British magazine, I'm thinking? Because
No, it's in English. No, I'm just kidding.
I bet you that's his label, like
It
over
could
in
be.
England.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
my
Because it
guess.
says right
I
here.
think that's British. Music for Nations wasn't over here.
Belsize Lane, London. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, Music for Nations was a heavy metal label, but they distributed a lot of stuff, so they must have got a deal to distribute the Zappa stuff overseas only,
Yeah,
and they
that's a
used
good idea.
that label called Zappa instead of Barking Pumpkin.
That's a good idea. Throw it in a record, man. How many people are going to get it? But it was just kind of odd in the Junk Monkeys, like a local Detroit record, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So feel free to go ahead and show some of your records, Eric, unless you don't want to spoil it for your next video.
Oh man, like I say, I don't know. The next time I'm going to make a video, I've been procrastinating, dude.
Didn't you
I sat down like a week ago and just was like halfway through it. I was like, man, I'm tired. I lost the train of thought and started reshooting, and then it got halfway through the video, and I was just like, I didn't know where my train of thought was going. I just like, I'm done. You know what I mean? I pulled the stack, and I'll make a video sooner or later, man. You know, if I'm not feeling it, like when I make a video, man, like that's one reason I like doing this, because even if you're like not super chipper or high energy, you're still chilling and you'll match energy of your friends. But if you're making a video just to like put out there for YouTube for your friends, if you don't have the energy or, because the only videos I'm watching are people that are like super entertaining or fairly informative or a combination of both. And if I don't have something like important to tell or good fun energy to share, I don't want to make a video just for the sake of making a video. I'm not chasing, I'm not chasing numbers. So I don't.
That's
so what if I
was.
fall out of the algorithm? That's the consequence. If I don't make a video, then I fall out of the algorithm. But that's fine.
I never really wanted to make them for the algorithm or anything. I got into it. I think it was Brother Bruce. He was like an old hippie, Ann Arbor, Detroit connection. You know, he's an MC5 guy and stuff. He got me into making them, and when you first get into videos, you're doing them 3 or 4 a week almost, it seems, or whatever it was. But then, yeah, I just hit a spot where it's just like
disappeared for 4 years.
Yeah, just you have to feel it,
Dude, one thing I'll say though for Randy's like one of the reasons I'm in the vinyl community, because before I ever made videos or content, I used to watch his show. It was usually on Saturdays. And so that's how I met, a lot of my first friends in the vinyl community, like Bill, RIP, and yada, yada, yada. And so I started making videos eventually. And credit to Randy, whether it's live streams or whatever, there's so many people that I started making videos around a vinyl tag. And then you don't know because you're new to it and you're making videos. They start making videos and it's cool, or other people have been making videos for years. And so many people just fall off and disappear.
Yeah,
like under some weird self-imposed pressure of like trying to maintain or keep up. And you're like, dude, step away for a few weeks. Like there's no pressure. There's no rule to this. Just make a video when you want to, like check in occasionally. You don't have to watch every single video that other people put out there. And like, it's all good. But I think a lot of people have self-imposed rules.
I think.
Well, sometimes you get bored,
Yeah. And there's some people feel compelled maybe to kind of keep the momentum going, and they start to get a few nibbles and they feel like, now I got to keep it going. And that's when you kind of lose your way. You got to just be into what you're doing in the moment. If it's even like just a modicum of doubt, you know what I mean?
And this is just
wait till you're motivated, man. And
I don't feel that, because it's not like I'm putting names out here, but there's a few people that burnt out. I feel like they started keeping up with the trends of what other people were buying, and they were buying outside of their real wheelhouse, and they just kind of got burnt out, and just tapped out.
For content.
But it's like,
alone, yeah.
there's trends that come and go. Because like when I first started making BC videos, there was a whole lot of psychedelic music, and I was like, okay, that suits my needs. And that tapered off, and this jazz exploded, which is cool because I'm just like, then I could really discover the marquee Need to Have It jazz albums as it goes deeper and deeper. I don't care about like the 275th jazz reissue in the past 14 months. I don't care about that one. You know what I mean? So I'll take what I want from it. But
there's a lot of followers. A lot of people are followers, even if they don't realize it. Like you have these Steely Dans, and everyone's interested in Steely Dan. These records have been available for 35, 40 years.
That you never struggle to find.
Everyone wants them now. And it's like, if you should have them already, or, everyone shouldn't want the same record at once. It's crazy. Unless there's like a new release, we're all waiting for, the new Slayer record or something.
Yeah.
When people go goo goo gaga over like, a new Thriller repress, I'm just like, who struggled to find a clean copy of Thriller?
And how could 30 people want the same record when there's millions of records? It's like someone's following someone.
Yeah.
It might be 2 or 3 that want the same record, but a lot of followers.
It's a lot of that tailcoat riding, I think, yeah.
And then some things, it's like serendipity. Like to get back to what Aaron and I were saying earlier, we've just randomly been on the same page where I'm and him are constantly buying the same record like a weekend apart, not knowing whatever. So, Fat Mattress. You asked to show something like this is one of the things I got this past week. Really clean copy. It's $15, man. I was super stoked.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good album.
So that's my most recent pickup, along with that Witch Lazy Bones. Yeah, and here's I don't know how many times they repressed it. Mine's just on that. It's on the turntable right now, so I can't show it. But mine's just that standard yellow Atco label.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah. Well, like say, I don't know how many represses that caught or whatever. I don't really care. It sounds nice, it's clean, so I don't really get fun.
I don't think there was many represses back when it was original. I don't know if there is any modern.
Because they only had 2 albums, like early '69 and '71. They were 2 and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is one of the topics I touched on in my last video when I was just kind of showing like old psychedelic and hard and heavy and blues rock bands. There's a lot of 1 and dones and 2 and outs. There's a lot of bands like that in the mid '60s to early '70s that caught a little bit of back when there was regional DJs.
Genesis. John, did you catch the Genesis craze?
No, but I was just in the early days of the VC. I was only cared about obscure metal. That was the only thing I was interested in.
Yeah,
because I was still going out, and I had friends of all the other sorts of music. I just had no one that was into metal. It was still uncool.
That whole Simmons electronic drum era just drives me up the fucking wall, man. I'm sorry.
So I got a good DJ. I'm going to the Rockabilly Weekend tomorrow. I got 2 good DJ sets on Friday night, so I'm psyched. I pulled all my records, and it's in Sturbridge,
Mass.
Yeah, Mass.
Oh, cool.
But it's it's people from all over. I mean, it's not a huge one. It's like a second-tier weekender, but there'll be people from all over the country.
Nice.
There's a Rockabilly car show. I'm going to be in Wisconsin for my grandfather's 90th birthday, and so I'm not lamenting because I need to go see my grandpa, pay my respects. He's getting old and he's sick. So it's not like I'm like, oh, darn, fuck you, grandpa. Nothing like that. It just so happens that when I'm in Wisconsin, there's a Rockabilly car show with music, and I'm going to miss it. I'm just like, fuck, man. I'm like, that's double cool because I'm down for a car show regardless. But then if you have like a live Rockabilly band, it's all the better.
Maybe Dave Dudley will be there, huh? He's probably
so I went to a couple years ago and was sponsored by Old School Barbershop and Suavecito like had a sponsor and they're doing giveaways. But so everyone had their fresh haircuts and they had a contest for the girls for the best Rockabilly pinup girl outfit, and all the guys were like best hair and then best rat rod and shit like that. And they had a fucking guy selling records and it's just a bunch of 45s. I didn't know a damn fucking one of them, but it was like. It was just cool to hear the people talk about it.
Yeah, it sounds a little corny to me. Best hair and that, like that's not,
But it's also tied to business. So I mean, it's like, dude, if you want to like, if you want to bring your girl out to a fucking like rockabilly car show, like you might need some cornball shit to pull it off. So
you know what? Rockabilly is my favorite scene because it's 50% girls and 50% boys. Like whereas metal, it's all a bunch of dudes. Punk, it's mostly a bunch of dudes. Rockabilly's the first thing where there's like the same amount of girls that are into it as guys. It's good.
What's the big? There's like a big annual rockabilly car show, music thing, festival weekend in Las Vegas for like 25 years in a row. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. I headlined the first one and the fifth one.
Yeah, I'd totally be down to do that.
I remember going to some of those.
I've never had a desire to go to Vegas for the sake of Vegas, like to go there to gamble and like prostitutes and shit like that. But between all the different shows and big fights and events and things like that, that's what would draw me to Vegas. But I always wanted to go to Vegas.
The scene is a lot different now. It's more of a car show than a music thing now. Yeah. It's mostly California kids, but when it started, it was people from Europe, and it was like the whole country because it wasn't a huge scene. But now it's just a California scene almost.
Those rockabilly shows are fun too because the get-ups they wear and the girls and the guys out there dancing and just
and we drink. We just love drinking, and everyone gets.
I like drinking.
Like there's usually hotel like this one actually started tonight. It won't end till Sunday, so the drinking's going to go on.
Yeah, I like drinking. I like pretty girls in cute vintage outfits. I like cars. I cut hair on the side. I like old rock, like rockabilly, fucking garage rock music. Like I'm just fucking down for a fucking weekend in Vegas for that shit.
Yeah, it's good because it doesn't shut in Vegas. It goes all night. Like tomorrow night, I think it ends at 4 a.m. So it's
what's up.
It's just it gets wild.
Rachel wants more Beatles channels. I think that's the last fucking thing we need, Rachel. It's more Beatles channels.
What's up?
I was going through my records to purge, and I still every single week. I think it's more cost effective and smarter to just pull out a few at a time to purge. And then also, if you purge a bunch and you're getting store credit, because this is my goal to just get store credit. If you purge too much at once and you have extra credit, you might end up just buying stuff you don't really want anyways. So I'm just pulling out a handful of records at a time. But I was flipping through the collection and decided what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep and yada, yada, yada. And, I get a little bit stricter every single time. But I flipped the Beatles and I had to remind myself that I like the Beatles. It's the fucking vinyl community are just constantly shoving it down your gullet like a fucking goose turning into frog wah. Just fucking eat this shit. More fucking Beatles. And you're just like, I have to remind myself I like the Beatles. And that it does have a place in my collection.
Yeah, they're a pretty good band.
Yeah. They're pretty important to music, but I just fucking...
They're not that important. They're not that important to rock and roll. People over-exaggerate. They're important to music, but not to rock and roll. If anything, they heard it.
Yeah.
But...
What's up, Raphael? I think we hurt Rachel's feelings. It's okay.
I was trying to hurt...
Beatles, I think, is low-hanging fruit. Yeah. I don't think she was mentioning she thinks too many people are into Zappa. I don't know if that.
I think she's being a wise. She was just being a wise guy to baiting us.
Yeah. Because I don't think Zappa's low-hanging fruit at all. I think it's much easier to like the Beatles than it would be to like.
Well, this is the difference between Rachel and other Beatles fans. Is Rachel's such a big Beatles fan that she'll welcome Beatles conversation whenever and have it. But there's some Beatles fans where that's the only conversation they're trying to have. There's a difference. You know what I mean? Like, I like comic books, but like, imagine if we couldn't be friends because you won't talk comic books with me. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it's one thing to like welcome the conversation always. It's another thing to be like trying to force the conversation always.
Yeah. Well, I respect people's passion, and like Rachel doesn't bring it up, but obviously the Beatles come up and then her eyes light up, and then, that's her favorite band. So I would be the same way. If I'm sitting around, we're talking whatever we're talking, and all of a sudden, Gene Vincent comes up or something that, is my favorite. My eyes would light up and I'd get into it.
Yeah.
Yes, Raphael, you missed me ending the stream accidentally. That's all you missed. So there's another whole music stream over there that just went up that you can check out.
Hey, I have to say this. Did you guys check out Brother Brian's? He uploaded a song and he did that Lionel Richie "Hello." Did you guys see that?
Did he?
No, I'll check it out.
Yeah, so my comment was, Brian, I said, Brian, are you okay, man? Is something wrong?
Well, he gets up really early, and you still got them sleepy eyes. You're like, man,
I thought maybe he had some chick broke up with him or something.
was he
you know?
was he doing the clay, like molded clay head thing while he's playing the song?
Yeah. No, there's no more black eye makeup, brother Brian. He's in a better place nowadays.
Who the hell are you guys? The guy who's got a Big Mac as an avatar.
Yeah, well, who the hell are you? Nobody here eats Big Macs.
Dude, if I can get like a Big Mac circa 1994, I'd be down for one. But like McDonald's is fucking this from a fat guy. Trust me, McDonald's is a hot pile of shit. And I'm judging it by fast food standards. I'm not saying, oh, there's this place on the other side of town where you can get like ground Kobe, like Wagyu beef, hand patty. No. I'm comparing McDonald's by like fucking Burger King, Hardee's standards. McDonald's is a pile of shit by fast food standards.
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't pick McDonald's. You pick it because of convenience. You know, you just work 12 hours. You don't have time to make dinner, and you're passing it. You see the arches, you grab it. Or,
Do you know
a mom's got kids. You got to get to soccer practice. You got to do this. You go to McDonald's.
No, I get that. But first of all, that means for me that there's no other like McDonald's is so down the totem pole. That means there's no other fast food close by. But there's people that live off that shit, though. There's people that love that, and they think it's the best food ever, and they get excited every time they come out with some new gimmick, or Burger King makes a burger that comes with a black bun, and then they don't understand why they have, like, blood red diarrhea for 3 days. You're like, well, of course. Your bun is pitch black. What did you think was going to happen? Your cheese glows in the dark. You thought you were going to eat glow-in-the-cheese Halloween cheese, like Whopper, or a fucking Big Mac or whatever, and not have fucking like glowing diarrhea.
You guys never had my toast, man. That's how my toast ends up.
It gives you red diarrhea?
No, it's just black.
Yeah, or
Black
green
diarrhea.
diarrhea, whatever color diarrhea you want. I don't give a shit. I don't want it.
You know when they got to put this next to it, cheese.
Yeah, cheese. Yeah.
Be afraid.
Yeah.
Edible sand. I read a story about Taco Bell that they use an edible sand to add weight to their food.
Edible sand.
I figured I've eaten plenty of sand in my time, but not on purpose. You know what I mean? It's always I didn't mean
It's like,
to.
I mean, this has nothing to do with that, but I bought this bird seed, for the birds in the backyard, and I get down to the end of it, and there's actual stones and rocks in it. They use to weight it down, That's bullshit,
Yeah.
Tasty.
Well, you get, if you need topsoil, and they're putting wood in there to like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? To make it like the mass more like.
I'm sure that's
What you drink,
the
John?
least of your concerns is what putting wood in your food. Oh, they
John,
put
what you
wood in
drinking?
there? It's just-
Guinness.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't be drinking, but whatever.
Later, Kimba.
See you later.
See you later. Take care.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm working or not. Depends on how I feel in the morning, man. I tell you that I get that nerve. It's right between my joint, so I can't bend it without excruciating pain. And we had I can't remember if it was yesterday or day before. The humidity was so high, and I think that has a lot to do with it, But yesterday, well, maybe it was 2 days ago, but yesterday and today it was better, when I woke up. But I just can't do anything, It sucks, man.
For me, it's
Who is London
barometric
Bridges?
pressure.
He knows my name.
Who? The guy with the Big Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably Dobby or somebody.
Sorry if I insulted your burger of choice.
Yeah.
He said it's a sunset. I still don't
Yeah.
believe it. It looks like a fucking burger to me.
I can't see. I mean, I'm on the stream right now, so I can't see anyone's comments. So,
Yeah.
best wishes to everyone out there commenting.
Now he's talking to Randy.
Are you on your phone, Eric?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so I can't see any comments right now. So I don't even have a laptop. I don't have Wi-Fi. I got Verizon Unlimited. So right now money's tight, so anything that I can cut off that's extra is cut the fuck off. And which is one of the reasons why I'm purging my records right now, because luckily, like, there's a lot of things like I can have a drink right now because I had a full bar, and I can still get new records because I'm willing to trade out 5, 6, 7 shitty records for one decent record. So I've been, the collection's getting fucking better and better. I need to fucking make a video or 7 right now. I was like, over the past, from what I didn't show from before the accident to what I've acquired since I've been back home, like, I got some fucking dope albums, dude.
That's like we used to have parties and get-togethers over here, and everybody would always bring.
I'm not drunk. I just had 1 beer, brother.
But they bring their bottles, and then they'd end up, drinking half it and leaving it, right? So I got this cabinet in our back room. It's all the liquors in there, right? And it probably lasts me a lifetime, but I don't drink. I mean, I like some tequila, but I don't drink the hard stuff. I just can't get into it, But it's there if I ever need it.
And when I say, I don't want to use the term never because that seems almost extreme, but I very rare.
All right, Eric made it up.
What's up, Pop Power, Eric Bauer?
What's going on?
Woo! But
What's up, guys?
it's a very rare occasion I have more than a drink or two without a friend.
Nice
So
mustache, Eric.
Eric, what's this? Can we go big on Eric here? Let me see this mustache. What's working on here, man? What's going on?
I'm trying. Hold on.
That's
Salt
a
and
full
pepper,
beard,
Salt
man.
and pepper.
Oh, nice nose ring. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Man. You just get
How
that
you doing,
nose
Eric?
ring, man?
What's up? What, Aaron?
Did you just get that nose ring, Eric?
Like 3 weeks ago?
Oh.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking keep up, Aaron. What the fuck, man?
What the?
Do
Yeah.
you not
First, I
watch
didn't
the
know he had a
channel?
mustache.
Clearly, you don't.
3
watch-
weeks, dude.
Clearly
Come
you
on,
don't watch
tighten
my
up.
channel.
Yeah, come on, dude. Yeah, haven't you been
Wow.
fucking hanging out talking about cassettes and shit?
No, I was getting. Well, I got my
Cassettes, man,
anus
that's where it's at.
pierced.
Aaron's too
Ain't it?
busy with the setup, man.
Yeah, I've been too busy.
Clearly.
So you just had this. You had this Technics 1200 in your fucking garage.
Yeah, 1200 Mark II.
What else do you have fucking hanging out in your fucking garage, man? You need to start fucking. You got.
Dude, there was a time where I spent more time in my garage than I did here.
Oh, brother Brian style, just making fucking fish lures, talking about the government.
No,
All right.
no. I got a bathroom down there and an air conditioner and a heater and all that.
Oh shit, I could move in then, dude. I fucking
Running
send my
water.
ass to fucking Jersey, dude. Be rent free, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Get your piece of shit van out of the fucking garage, dude. I'm moving in.
Yeah, we got a pool, we got a pond. I think the pond
yeah.
would be good for you, man.
Exactly. Can you climb a ladder? Can you paint?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't belong on ladders, but I'm a good painter. You know what I mean?
There you go. I need a hand.
Yeah.
Come on out, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Put your ass on a scissor lift 45 feet in the air and see how you like that.
Fuck yeah, dude. Strap me in, dude. Yeah.
Ain't no strapping in.
Fuck that, dude. Yeah. I'm not falling to my death. No, my dumbass, so I'd survive. Fucking A, dude. Yeah.
I worked with these painters years ago. I mean, this is like probably within the first 10 years when I started doing trim back in the 90s. And there was this,
1890?
well, the painting crew had this, they had this old boom truck. I mean, it was probably from the 60s, and the guy was up on the peak, doing the fascia and stuff, spraying it. And the thing ran out of gas. So he tied off his sprayer hose and he shimmied down, 40 feet
on
on
a
this
sprayer
sprayer
line.
hose. Yeah.
Oh
the
my
line.
god.
Those guys were a hoot, man.
I used to do construction years ago with this guy named Grateful Ed, the old hippie guy, always wearing a tie-dye at all times. Just old hand-me-down piece of shit equipment. But he had a ladder that he used to call the Ladder of Doom.
Was that a wood
And I
one?
was like, but so like, he get mad at me one time we were doing a job, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna walk out to the truck, and get the ladder. He's like, I got a ladder right here. I said, dude, I'm not fucking using the Ladder of Doom. Oh, by the way, Grateful Ed was like 5'10", 190. You're just like my fucking big ass. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna be 6'3", 300 pounds using the ladder of doom. Fuck you. Eat shit, die slow, dude. You know?
Dude, I got a ladder story. So back years and years and years ago, I worked at a movie theater, and I went in one morning to change auditorium lights.
Mhm.
Fucking huge ladder. It was like you had to get up to the ceiling of a movie theater. So it was me and one other dude, and he did it pretty much anytime the lights needed to be changed out. And it was my first time doing the light change. And he's like, it's a 2-person job on the ladder. So first of all, I don't like ladders in the first place, let alone ladders that go up further than like 30, 40 feet into the air.
Right.
Folding triangle ladder. And so we get up there and change the bulb. And then he's like, okay, we got to lower the ladder because there was a hanging light behind the bulb that we just changed, and we had to get lower to do it. He's like, so we're going to lower the ladder while we're standing on it. And I'm like, that doesn't seem safe. He's like, I do this every time. And I'm like, all right, dude. So we kind of coordinate, and we're like lowering each side inch by inch. And eventually the ladder starts fucking just falling forward with him on the underside. I just fucking bailed, dude. He fell like 30 feet.
Oh my
Holy
god!
shit.
Into theater chairs. So.
Oh man.
Well,
And he accused me of doing it on purpose. That was the best part.
Yeah.
You didn't even like
that
the
was the
idea
goal,
to
yeah.
begin with.
That's
Yeah,
like,
the attempted homicide was my goal. Yeah. I want to go to work and try to kill my coworker out of just fucking whatever. I didn't even have. There's no motive. Who needs motive?
it was an early
fucking murder.
Sunday morning. That was my motive. It was early Sunday
Yeah.
morning.
Oh, fucking Sunday morning. God, ready.
Yeah.
You're just
exactly.
listening to Johnny Cash driving to work, just contemplating killing. You know what I mean? Just fucking meth still tracing through your veins, just like I'm gonna fucking kill this
Yeah,
motherfucker.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, pissed that morning.
I
I
wonder
was
why.
pissed like every morning back then, though. So that wasn't unusual. But
Yeah, you
Just
don't-
wake up angry.
I still wake up angry.
I wake up angry every day. I do. I don't act it out all the time, but I'm cranky, every
He's
morning.
like, I'll be honest with you, I think it's because I'm half a Guido. Until I got some water in my face or like some liquids in me, like get a glass of water or a cup of coffee, like take a piss, like forever and a day. I just need 15 minutes in the morning, and when I'm in a relationship, when I get off work, dear God, I don't need all night, but can I just get like 6 to 14 minutes to myself to take off my work shoes, take a shower, whatever,
decompress.
before
6 to
Just
14,
like
that's it.
just, you know what I'm saying? It's the bare minimum, like, can I get more than 1.2 nanoseconds?
It doesn't take much for me to get pissed off about my day. Like this morning,
Yeah.
I went to put my underwear on, and you go to put your foot in the second leg, and all of a sudden you get caught on the elastic, and you.
I can't do it, man.
I was like,
I can't
today's
lift
going to
my leg
totally
up.
fucking suck. This day is going to suck ass.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
fuck
fell
these
asleep on my
fucking
couch
underwear,
last
man.
night. Woke up to one of the cats barfing up a hairball on me.
Nice.
On you?
On me, yeah.
Oh,
If it's
beautiful.
on you, that shit's out of spite. Cats are fucking spiteful.
They
They,
are
they, I'm
spiteful.
gonna wake this motherfucker up with vomit.
Yeah, I say this all the time, and people go, "Oh, it's just a cat." I go, my cat takes spite shits. When you don't pay attention, she'll go, I think I'm going to take a nice big steaming pile and not cover it up for you. It eventually will make its way to your nose, and you'll have to get up and deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just a cat. Get the fuck out of here. These cats.
One of
are
mine,
fucking
one of
dumb.
mine doesn't bury his shit, but that's because he's afraid of it.
He's afraid of his own shit.
Yeah, he takes a shit and then he runs out like in like a panic from the litter box. So I got to go in and fucking cover it for him, or else the other cat will go in and cover it for him.
That's right. Fucking underwear. Today's gonna suck.
I get my big cat. He's like 20 pounds, and actually, I took him in for his annual thing, and he lost a pound in a year, so that's good. But anyway, he'll get on my chest if I don't get up to feed him, and he stiff arms me. You know, what I mean, he'll drive his legs into my chest where it's just annoying when I'm like push him off. But yeah, they're smart, man. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Do you ever get the run right across your stomach and smash its legs
Oh,
right in
yeah.
the softest part of your abdomen?
or right
That's
in your
best.
nutsack is worse. You know?
Yeah, they love the nutsack.
Cats are petty. My cat would do when he wanted to go to the bathroom. If he meowed more than twice at night, like, hey, I know it's 1 a.m, but I decided that I need to piss or go outside now. He would do this thing where he'd meow like you got like once or twice if you were still asleep. He would fucking like headbutt you in the eye socket and just like grind his ear and the corner of his head into your like fucking eyeball. You're just like, what the fuck is going on right now? You know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Man, this is turning into a cat conversation here.
It's just a
fucking
cat.
4 guys and John talking about cats.
Somebody change
Not
the
me.
topic.
It doesn't know what it's doing. It's just a cat. I mean, we've all taken spite shits before. Why not a cat? You know what I mean?
That's all cats
I
are.
don't know if I've ever taken a spite shit, actually. I don't know. I'm not quite sure I know what that is.
I think you
fucking
do.
spite
You don't have to downplay
I know I've
that.
shamelessly
It's okay.
blown up someone else's house.
I was
Yeah,
over at
Somebody's closet,
Well, some people call it an upper decker, Eric. Just so you
upper
know.
decker.
I know the upper deckers. I'm not guilty of that, though.
I was over at
In the freaking,
Dave and Jenny's
tank.
the garage show last night they had, and they were talking about Garner was over there, and they were talking about old, dingy, smoky bars. Remember when you could smoke in bars?
Oh, I
you know?
totally remember that shit. Yeah.
Some of the best bars were just absolute dives, you know. And I picked up this single here. It's which one was it? Oh yeah, this one. So Brian McCarty, he was the lead singer for the Trash Brats, glam rockers here in Detroit.
You just played
And-
that on the last Hydra, didn't you?
I played the Trash Brats, yeah, not this one.
Okay.
But this is it's called Hamtramck Jukebox, and this is a really good song he wrote. It's about one of those old dingy bars in Detroit, and this is where all these the cool '80s bands from Detroit.
Is that the
played.
one where he name drops everyone? Because I feel
Yeah.
like you played that. I feel like you played that on maybe like 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
I thought he did too, man.
Tighten up, Randy.
I don't think I
He
did.
was name dropping the bands.
Did I play it?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah,
Because I'm
maybe I
familiar
did.
with it. I remember that. And I remember he was name dropping bands or
Yeah,
something.
I'm 56, man.
Randy.
Anyway, and then I picked up these two. RUR. You guys heard this band?
No.
So these are kind of hard to find. They're rare. Like I don't know. Well, I guess they're rare if they're hard to find. But they go for $40-$50 in kind of crappy condition. I went on eBay. This is why you always check both of them before you buy something. And the guy who's selling these for I think they were $12 each. And then they each had like an original sticker you can see in there.
Mhm.
But if you go on YouTube and you type in Bandin, Bandin, it's like a Detroit radio station did some local stuff, and they're on there. They're kind of they call them on that like a robot rock, RUR. But you got to check that out. It's pretty good. They do a great version of what was that song? Shit, I can't remember. But anyway, I picked those up, and that was like I couldn't believe it. When I went on, I had to buy them, and they were like in excellent shape too. I mean, there's, that seller on Discogs, Eileen Dover.
Mhm.
Did I tell you about her before? I think I told some people
Is it
about
any
that.
relation to Ben Dover?
Yeah, pretty much. But if it's a guy or a girl, I don't know. But they have all the cool shit, and he or she always says, I'm open to swapping this extra copy, And she had like a crappy
Richard.
one on there for $45, and I'm like, damn,
Rich.
am I gonna have to buy that for that much? And then I looked on eBay and got them cheap. But I'm trying to think if I got anything else here. John, I found that. This is that Echoplex 45,
Oh, cool.
and that's
Like demonstration. What is that? Like 60? It looks 60s, even though
Yeah,
the Echoplex was
60s.
what, like 57 or something?
yeah. I don't know exactly what years. It was later later 60s. But yeah, so that was kind of cool.
I forget, John. I thought about you today. I was watching a video. I can't recall. I made a recent friend of the vinyl community, and I set up to his channel. And I don't know what the reason why, but he was showing New Zealand bands. So if you just type in the vinyl community New Zealand bands.
Ben Rankin, maybe?
Yes, that's who it was. Ben Rankin. I met him through Cosmic Brian. But he was showing like 60s freak beat garage rock from New Zealand. Did you see that video? His most recent video?
I didn't watch it. I saw it come up on the feed.
Yeah, so, but if you get deeper in the video, you might not give a fuck about what he's showing, but at least the first few minutes, I mean, it's just pretty cool to see that scene.
Yeah, they had some good stuff, Australia and New Zealand, always, since the 60s,
But I've been a big kick on that. I like it psychedelic, but, I don't find it enough, but I've been on a big kick of that, just like mid-60s to early 70s, garage rock, blues rock, psychedelic, just fucking all that hard and heavy fucking amalgamated type shit, proto-metal, proto-punk, early prog shit, like early mid-60s to like early 70s. I just been on a fucking big kick on that recently.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Australia per capita was probably the most rocking place in the world. They had amazing bands from the 60s through the 70s through the 80s, and even the 90s.
I mean,
and
look at
always heavy,
look at Buffalo,
always wild.
Man.
Yeah, Buffalo, great example.
Yeah. Here's some of that Afro beat you were talking about, Eric.
Yeah, we talked about that album, dude, and that's why that album we talked about that album months ago on Mikey Bananas Grow Man Record Night, and I was saying I need that record, and I was saying that record was controversial and it got censored because the little black children on it. So as a retort, the very next record they put out Albino Boys on the cover.
Yeah, the second one they did, didn't they? And I think that's the one that's the one Mikey has. I think the one with the albino kids.
Yeah.
What variant is that?
Swedish press.
Swedish press.
That's rad.
So it's got that floppy cover, right?
Oh, it's fucking flimsy as shit.
Those
cool,
Euro
cool.
folks, man, they're always flaccid. Those covers, man.
Dude, that's fucking dope as hell, dude.
It's Lone Chaney Senior, huh? London After Midnight.
That's kind of what I took away from that. Yeah.
But you know who that is? That Here Comes Man. That's one of the. I think the guitar player, the lead of the band. That's Herbie Mann's son.
Really?
The jazz flutist that has the iconic cover with like holding the flute, shirtless with a hairy chest.
The oiled up hairy chest.
Yeah. That's that dude's kid. Is the leader of that band.
Here's a good New Zealand band, the Avengers. They started off more surfy, I think on their first 2 albums. This is their third. This is the best one, but this is more garagey, psychedelic.
Medallion.
Yeah.
Look at that get up.
Yeah, I don't know if I could buy that record.
I mean, that screams a Cosmic Brian.
That's too late in the 60s. Like, I like 66 is my cutoff.
What were you showing?
But it's
John?
like this thing's like a $350 album, man. Believe it or not.
Wow.
If that's a burden to you in your record collection, I mean, I'm not telling you to send it to me, but it looks like it might be bothering you. If you want to send that
showing this one for Randy. He's seen it before, but this is only $15.99. The Shocking Blue,
Cool.
the singles. It's the 4 singles on Music for Vinyl. It sounds fantastic. Yeah, Venus, but they are a lot hard and heavier. Like they got like fuzz guitar. Like they're really good. Like don't let them that Venus.
So what year was that?
This would be like 67, 68.
No, what year was this?
68, 69. This is brand new, or it came out.
They also had that
2022, but it's now it like didn't sell Record Store Day, but it sounds fantastic.
I'm looking at that. I'm totally looking at that. Yeah, that's right in my wheelhouse.
They also put out a Record Store Day, like a 3 LP set of all their stuff that was pretty good too.
Yeah, that might be too much for me, but like that's great. Like I'll put it on, and those songs rip.
Yeah, that first album they had.
What was that band? You know that band that did that? She's the Witch. But don't.
Yeah, it's.
They get the video. It was not the Trems. It's
Are you
I don't know.
talking
It's very
about
similar to that.
the Lollipop Shop?
No, not the Lollipop. It's a European band, not the Lollipop Shop. It's Have you seen The Witch? Have you seen The Witch? A chick singer. It's a killer video from like I'd say '68, but but it reminds me of that. Whatever. But
Here's one that Eric and myself been vibing on lately.
That's one of the things that to go back to what we were talking about, man.
Yeah.
I
bought that when it came out. I remember
the Rattles.
Vinyl
Richard's got it.
79, I think, was telling me about that album. I bought that back then. Yeah, that's a good album.
Rob up in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, now he's old school now, right?
Yeah, old school.
Yeah,
Thank you, Richard. Yeah, that's a great tune, the Rattles.
Right, what was the kerfuffle he got into a while back, where him and Derek got into a little spat, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. That turned pretty ugly.
Yeah, the Derek accused him of being like a white supremacist racist and shit, and
there was a bunch of stuff involved with that. Like,
yeah, I barely caught wind of it. By the end, it was too late. I was like, which is cool to dodge the drama, but I also asked people for clarity on it. Nobody had a resolution. But
yeah, I don't know how much of it was true. There was a lot of crazy stuff they were talking about.
But no, he emails me once in a blue moon because he's a dedicated crate digger, and he goes to Goodwills and everything. But he'll just like be flipping around. He's like, "Hey, dude, this is some rare Toronto band that dropped a single psychedelic album in 1969 that was only like released to like 1,200 units. It's a $800 record. I got it for $3." And you're just like,
yeah,
right
John. I told that story before. He's the guy that was he was digging through a thrift store, right? And he pulled out this I can't remember what album it was, but it's a rare psychedelic album. It's $300-$400 at the thrift store. Yeah. His competition that's always at the thrift store with him was over his shoulder, and he was kind of pissed off that Rob, got in there first. So he decked Rob in the face, took the record, and ran out the door, So he not only did he assault the dude, but he stole the record from the store, and they got him on 2 charges, like stealing and then assault.
and that's fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
It is
Sounds
crazy,
like a day full of bad
People get
decisions.
crazy.
Yeah, over a record,
I know there's people that's really dedicated to it, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just my neck of the woods. Because here, what's weird, because I'm going to interrupt myself. With Rob, he's in Toronto, and Toronto is supposed to be a great town to dig in with an ass ton of record stores.
Yeah,
but it's also a big population. So the fact that he's constantly finding stuff in Goodwills and flea markets and etc., I guess is impressive. But like in Greenville, we have 3 main record stores and a couple of Second and Charles and commercial places and used bookstores and yada yada yada. But I swear, I have never found anything remotely decent. I mean, I'm talking about, I haven't found like a $7 record I could buy for $1 and then like, oh, I'll trade for $5 to gain $4 or $5 for store credit. I've never found fucking nothing.
I've found some good stuff, but you got to be adamant about it. You have to go all the time, I mean,
yeah, I assume that's what it
went every day, He was
You could come out here and lose money on every Goodwill purchase you make.
But it's not worth my time. I don't need to.
Bullshit.
If I spend 8 hours going through the Goodwill, I'll come out with good things. If I go an hour every day, but 8 hours, that's worth $500 to me or whatever. Right. It's just not worth my time.
You know what I go there looking for? My main thing when I go to Goodwill is I look for the old speakers that are they're all beat up, they just need to be reconed and stuff. That's what I buy, because you can get them
you're
for
more
like
of a gearhead than me, so
yeah. The last time I went to the Goodwill, I lucked out. Because I found a box that was covered under another box, and it was all those promo Soul 45s.
Nice.
I made out good.
But
that's rare. That'll be one out of every 30 visits.
I had 2 or 3 friends recently hit me up at an old antique store, consignment shop down the way, kind of on the outskirts of town. And so I was like, oh, dude, I'll check it out. So enough people hit me up like, dude, there's a seller that kind of has its own little private store inside there. So I walked in and I looked around the stuff they had like popped up on the wall in the front of the bins. I was like, dude, there's some rad shit, some old soul, some garage rock and everything. Everything beat to death and everything marked up 30 to 80% over its absolute maximum dollar.
Shit.
And so you're just and I kept on flipping around and finding like really cool records of just insert whatever multiple different genres. It doesn't even fucking matter, from Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne to fucking, the Delphonics or whoever the fuck ever. And all of it was just like, every single time you saw the price, you just be like,
well, that sometimes the overpriced places are where you'll find like something that's really expensive marked as like the regular $30 records. Like they don't know.
They don't know what it is.
And there'll be something ultra rare, and it'll just be like with the overpriced 30, whatever.
That's what I was hoping. I flipped through the whole thing. I spent an hour and a half, man. You know what I mean? I had to like sit down and breaks. I was just like, one of these is gonna slip through the cracks, and there was fucking nothing.
That's
I
how
don't know if it's
yeah.
a regional thing or not, but for me, there's like a point of diminishing return when it comes to digging at thrift stores. I think, at least in my experience, like lately, lately over the past few years, seems like there's really nothing. I think people are scouring them. There's already those everyday people that literally go there.
And there's people that work there that grab all the good shit.
There's people with like OCDs, or they just go every day. And
take it easy, Rachel. Take care.
Yep. See you later.
Thanks for coming by.
There's people that you're never going to beat. They're just nerds. They go all the time looking for everything, and everyone's got their telephone and their Discogs, and they could just buy anything. Years ago, you only bought what you wanted.
All of the Goodwill shops that like I'm within driving distance for, they all have their own fucking eBay shops.
Yeah.
Like you're out there, like Eric, you're in Washington, John,
Seattle,
Mass, and all this. Have you noticed, like, I don't know if you guys look for other stuff in there, but the prices are getting outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean,
I went in there. I went in last week to Goodwill looking for a new receivers amp. And I didn't find any, but they had a couple pretty nice looking tape decks. And they were priced at like $30-$40. And it was like 3 of them. And I tested all 3, and none of them worked.
Wow.
With tape decks, usually it's just the
belt maybe.
Yeah. And then clean the heads with some alcohol. But $30 is a little steep,
I'm pretty good with fucking maintenance. But if you want me to spend more than like say $20 on a tape deck, I'm gonna go to the fucking place that actually like refurbishes the old hi-fi tape decks from back in the day. Like,
I picked one up from our Goodwill probably 3 months ago. It's an Onkyo tape deck, pretty nice tape deck, and I was surprised because I plugged it in and everything spun, brought it home, and it worked, but it was only $10. I thought that was pretty good.
My dream is to walk into a Goodwill and find one of those Nakamichi side-loading tape decks.
Oh,
yeah. We think we've all had that dream, Eric.
Is that the one that automatically flips out?
It has a little tray that comes out, and you just load your cassette flat.
Yeah, what do they call the black or
like the Black Dragon or something like that?
Yeah, Black Widow or something.
Yeah.
Those are about $600-$800 or more.
My current tape deck is a Nakamichi. If I could probably get about $200 for it if I wanted to sell it.
What model is it?
It's like basically brand new. I just serviced it. The BX2.
Okay, mine's a CR2A.
Just a single deck, not a dual. I don't fuck around with dual decks at all.
Yeah, I'd like to get an old cassette deck to hook up to my vintage stereo, but I have a early 2000s Sony Explode boombox, and it's just on top of my refrigerator, and it fucking does whatever I need for cassettes.
Yeah,
nice.
And so
those things have pretty decent sound too, though. Like
they sound really decent.
Hear music. People knock them. Boombox is a great way to hear music.
And they're expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, some of them are really high priced.
Yeah,
That's
good
actually
one.
one of the good ones, Eric. Yeah.
So I mean, and then what's cool about that is I got it at a Kmart that's going out of business, and I forget what it was, but it was like, I mean, this is years ago. It was like $145, and then it gets marked down to like $139.99, and then so on. And they got down to a couple of them. I was like, fuck. But then they brought out all the inventory from the back and started putting on pallets, and I saw that they had like 27 of them. So, and it was like a mile from mom's house. So I would just go check, and it kept on getting marked down. It was like $99 and $89 and $75, and then it got down to like 7 of them. And my dad was like, "You better buy it right now." You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like you're not going to do better than $50. And then I went, and there was 3 of them left. It was marked down to like, I can't recall if it was $39.99 or it was either 30 or $40. I can't recall. But I think it was $39.99 when I got it, brand new in the box.
Money's worth on that
Last
shit.
one.
Yeah, right now, if you had those new in box, you could probably get a mint for them, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, same with like old VCRs. You ever see like with the true like 4-head high fidelity VCRs go for new in a box?
Yeah.
They're a lot.
Like they go for stupid fuck hundreds. Some of them over $1,000.
Oh yeah, those.
I
those
still have
high-end
both
ones,
my
man. We recorded
VHS players.
we recorded a demo on VCR.
Yeah.
VCR audio on VCR tape because it was the fidelity was so high.
Yeah,
I've got a nice
is
VCR, but it doesn't connect to any of my TVs, so it's just kind of.
Now,
Yeah, that's the problem.
and I know
Yeah.
we all grew up on VHS,
Those-
but Randy, when you grew up with cave drawings, what was that like?
I grew up with
I mean, we
I
really
can move.
playing CD players now, like quality CD players from the '90s, because
Dude.
they're going to be gone.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, like there's places around me that like I can go in and like find like a good CD player, like as far as like audio spots, but like
yeah.
you can't just
That's
go
all
on
I
the internet.
see.
Like Best Buy, they sell like those ion shits that like copy your tapes to your computer through USB, but like it'll eat your tape as soon as you put it in there. Like
Yeah.
But then they still want like 150 for it. Like
Yeah.
But CD players are all garbage now, you know.
Yeah.
The guy I bought my stereo from at Cherry Audio, I developed a little bit of rapport with. He's a weird, quirky guy, and he's actually fucking kind of asshole to deal with, but he has nice gear. You know what I mean? So it's a trade-off. He's a eccentric, weird, old audiophile guy that loves his gear. But he's had a old Roberts 8-track player in tip-top condition with like 88 8-tracks for like 6, 7, 8 months. So I'm just going to stall it out. And if it's still there whenever I have a job, and give it another 2, 3, 4 months. If it's still there, I'm pretty sure I could steal it. You know what I mean? So I just have it in the back of my mind. Like once every 2 weeks, I just go onto his website and see if it's still there. And I'm just like, one of these days, I'm going to get you.
last time I had an 8-track player was my second car.
What was a car? You can't just say your second car.
It was a 76 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Okay, was it a 2-door?
Yes.
Nice. That's hey, dude, this big giant imp car, dude.
Yeah, it
That's
was like
nice.
a 402, I think.
Yeah.
Lowered front, raised back.
Yeah, giant back seat. Did you impregnate anyone?
No. In fact, I threw an engine rod out after 4 days of owning the car. So
That happens. It was affordable enough for a young version of you to own it. Fucking shit happens.
I think I spent like $300 on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then it just sat outside my parents' house for like 6 months, like until
And then what'd you sell it for?
nothing. We just called the cops to have them come tow it as an abandoned vehicle because the person,
Get it out of here.
no,
Get it out of here.
the person I bought it from never gave me the title.
Mm.
So they called me up like about 2 weeks later. They're like, "Hey, what the hell? We just got a bill from the police for for impounding the Grand Prix." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what happens when you don't give me the title."
Yeah.
And the car
Oh, that's on you, man.
You guys remember when you could? It was only like maybe 15 years ago where you could donate a car and then you could get the tax write-off, and they would just let you fill out the blue book.
You can still do it. Yeah.
No, now you have to prove
Oh,
how much the car sold for after in auction after you gave it or something. But like, so you could just claim blue book value and like 10 grand tax write-off.
yeah, I think it was
crazy.
Mother Waddles was ours. Just donate it,
Yeah,
We were,
I did maybe cars for kids or something. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
like they just gave you the piece of paper and you filled out blue book value. I'm like, fuck, that was great. Free money.
I think
That
early
car, the
90s,
best thing
we
about
were
it was
driving
opening the
around.
glove box.
We
Sorry, I
were
didn't mean to
driving
cut you
around
off.
in my buddy's van one night, 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't condone this, all right, so I'm just going to say this first off.
Condone it. Just condone it.
All right, so we had a couple cases of beer in the van, and we're driving around. All right.
Chloroform, mask, rope. Yeah,
we had the big cotton ball and everything, just in case we found somebody we were interested in. So we're driving around in this guy's Chevy van. It's like he bought it from Bell Telephone.
Nice.
And we were driving this fucker around, and it broke down on an off ramp right off the highway.
Mid-range.
It's like 2 or 3 in the morning. It just stalls right in the middle of the road. He doesn't even. He just gets out. He's like, "All right, get out." We get out, and we start walking away from the van, and he's got like a beer in his hand, and he just fucking throws this fucking beer at the back of the van. He's like, "Go get those beers." So we start throwing these beer bottles at the van, and then we just walked away, and we walked home like to his house. And we passed out at his house at like 6 in the morning, and the fucking cops are banging on the door going, "Your son left his van in the middle of the highway on the fucking off-ramp."
Oh, man.
Like, oh, shit.
My first car was a 1985 Dodge Omni. It was an old telephone company car. And I had that thing for I got it when I was 16. So I had it for 2 years, maybe 3. I think it was 19. It had the weird, you open the hood and it had the weird insulation on the underside of the hood.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. After Carroll Shelby parted ways with Ford, he started doing performance models for the Dodge Omni. They did GLH, which stood for Goes Like Hell. Carroll Shelby had a performance model on the Dodge Omni, which, by the way, I don't care how fast it went. Me getting inside it was like a fucking clown car, dude. You know what I'm saying? I do not belong in a Dodge Omni, bro.
I'm driving this thing. It's probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm taking a buddy home from Seattle. He lived out in this town called North Bend, which is about a 45-minute drive out on I-90 from Seattle. And we're going through the tunnel that takes you out of Seattle to the bridge that goes over to Bellevue, Washington. And in the tunnel, smoke starts coming out from under the hood. And I was like, oh shit. So I get through the tunnel, and then just outside of the tunnel, the pedals stop responding. And so I got an e-brake and get into the left shoulder, because it was just basically a 4-lane westbound or eastbound. Then the westbound was a separate bridge just on the other side. Pop the hood, and just fucking fire comes off of the engine block.
Oh,
and that
caught that oxygen. That's you just fed it.
Yeah, well, I didn't know it was on fire. It wasn't.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And there was that fucking insulation shit underneath the fucking hood, so that was all burning. And I'm like, oh, well, this isn't good. And we're about a quarter mile outside of the tunnel on the bridge. Cars are driving past at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Good luck to that guy. That's what they're thinking. Good luck to that guy.
Home,
As they drive by.
He just bought a 20-ounce Mr. Pibb at the gas station. He's like, "Oh, we'll put it out with my Mr. Pibb." So he gets his Pibb and tries to put out the fire. 20 ounces of Mr. Pibb isn't going to put this fire out. And the fucking front tires explode. And
oh no!
Shit.
They just bolt to the tunnel exit. And I just kind of hang my head and walk real slow to the utility phone on the freeway, call the fire department. And while we're doing that, some dude pulls over on the right shoulder, just walks across 4 lanes of freeway, and he's sticking his head in all the windows of the Dodge, with fire billowing out of the windows. And we're like, dude, we're over here. We're not in the car. And he just shrugs and walks back to his car and drives away.
You're all right. See you later.
Finally comes, and they're like, what kind of car was it? Because all the badges melted. And I go, it's an 85 Dodge Omni. And they're like, oh, that's why.
They must have seen that before.
These things catch on fire all the time.
Yeah, another one of those.
Years ago, my cousin moved down from Wisconsin to South Carolina to get away from his drinking buddies and just kind of be in the same routine. So he left the car behind that he sold to his brother, my cousin. And then so he had enough money saved. He was about to buy a car if he stuck around here. Anyways, long story short, he was borrowing my '79 Oldsmobile, and he was driving it on fucking empty. So he ran out of fucking gas with a pocket full of fucking money, and it's old V8 carbureted car. So he walks to a local shop, and it happens to kind of be a hot rod shop like 3 towns over. I'd never been to this place before. And so he asked him, he's like, can I get some fuel? And he's like, I ran out of gas. And they're like, oh, we can't help you. And he tells him with the car, he's like, oh, well, okay, we got you. And they politely tell him, just so you know, all we have is 110 race fuel. So he pours a little bit in the carburetor, but goes way too heavy-handed, sets it on fire. He panics, doesn't know what to do. So he grabs his swim trunks because he was supposed to meet up with mom at her house later, his aunt, my mom. And so he had his swim trunks, and they're like whatever, like nylon, rayon, synthetic swim trunk material. So instantly they melt. So there's the fucking pan, and he put the fire out, but he just like melted the fucking the K&N filters all like warped and cattywampus. And inside the tray for the carburetor, he's just like, you could see the pattern of like palm trees that like he just melted the swim trunks to the carburetor and the fan. You're just like, fucking A, Robbie. Yeah, so yeah, anyways, he set my car on fire with 110 race fuel. Fucking priceless.
Nutty.
Yeah, it was good. Like Rich is bringing up, you used to be able to put in your own tape deck, like upgrade your radio, in the old days. Like
I did that too.
nowadays, everything's one shell. I wouldn't even know how to put in like a CD player or change the radio.
Although Randy, go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that earlier. My dad, he was like superintendent of this tool and die shop, So he'd head over there on Sundays to do work, and me and my brother would go over there, and they had those big overhead doors. We'd pull in, and I put in a undermount cassette player, my 74 Impala or 75 Impala, I think it was. Anyway, it was those external ones, but when I got that hooked up, man, I was like the shit in town,
Yeah, I did. I remember putting in like a really good cassette deck. I was 17. I didn't have any knowledge, but you could figure it out,
Yep.
Take out the old AM radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was easy.
That Dodge, I fucking mounted the new tape deck like on top of the dash because it wouldn't fit into where the old deck went. And then I bought new speakers, but they were too big to go where the old speakers were. So those got mounted to the top of the dash. And then they got mounted to the back seat headrests.
Yeah.
So anybody in the back seat didn't have a headrest. It was like the most uncomfortable sitting situation possible.
I remember my 79 Oldsmobile when I was in high school. The rear tray underneath the rear windshield was like old and brittle and dry rot. So if I was to replace the old shitty 4x10 paper speakers, it would just crunch all that up and destroy it. And the dash was brittle, so I didn't want to replace the dash speakers. So I remember I used to just ride around, and it was just enough audio. If I was by myself, it was chill. I didn't mind. But if I was on road trips or whatever, I just had like a fucking Panasonic boombox on the floorboard of the passenger seat, a cassette boombox, dude. I just remember I was playing fucking Ramones and Green Day and Metallica and Slayer fucking tapes. You know what I mean? Just fucking hammering that shit in fucking high school. Just making it happen.
I remember what they had in the 80s, and I had one in my car. My father had one in his car because he worked in New York City. But it was this dummy shell. It looked like an AM radio with the knobs. It had a sticker with the dot with where the stations are, and it fit in. It had a thing, so it fit into the cassette. So you covered up your expensive cassette player, and if you looked in the window, it looked like a bad AM radio.
The removable blob hunks that looked like a fucking briefcase when you pulled it out.
Yeah, like fucking MacGruber.
Yeah.
Fucking MacGruber.
I can't believe MacGruber. Please tell me someone's seen MacGruber.
How about those old? What were those things? The cassette. It was a blank cassette you could stick in your cassette player, and it would give you an FM radio or something like that. I can't remember what
those cassette adapters.
CDs. I think you could play a CD player with them.
Yeah.
That had a wire, because I totally remember having my dad had his
the portable CD player would attach to this cassette, and it would go in. It would play through the heads.
I was before that they had the.
This was before CDs, though. It was
They had the one that went into the 8-track player, and you could play a cassette through your 8-track player. There was the upgrade in it.
Yeah.
That's how you know. the technology's reaching the next level, dude. First, I'd
Yeah.
love to have a fucking 8-track player in an old fucking classic car, dude. I came
Yeah.
so close to buying a 78 Trans Am post during the economy crash after 9/11, and cars were just fucking cheaper and they hit a plateau. But I came so close to buying a Smokey the Bandit edition Trans Am.
Dude, that
Fucking
Captain, do you remember Captain Howdy? What's his name? John. You know him, right, Randy?
Yeah,
He
Captain
used to
Howdy.
do all the Kiss stuff, but he had
Yeah.
the exact Trans Am down to every detail. And
Really?
that
yeah,
fucking
yeah, his old videos. You know, he used to go on runs like Smoking the Bandit runs, and
Sweet.
that Pontiac I had fucking came with a glove box full of 8-tracks. It had like the best of Tom Jones,
oh yeah,
the Shaft soundtrack, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. It had like
this dude was trying to use the back seat.
couple Loggins and Messina 8-tracks, some Kiss.
Hold
Molly
on, baby.
Hatchet.
Let me put something on we can really get into.
I can tell you what, Kiss-
Tom Jones.
Yeah.
Kiss is probably gonna be the next thing. As I flip through my record collection every single time, and I'm just purging, I'm thinking to myself, dude, like, why do I still own Kiss? You
don't
know?
purge Kiss.
I couldn't tell you, man.
I'm like,
my favorite
that's like
band.
I've seen Kiss in concert. I grew up with Kiss. I like Kiss, but it's just like one of those things I
Kiss
never.
concert in the '90s, like you know.
Yeah, I saw Kiss. Yeah, I saw Kiss in concert in '98.
97. Okay, 98.
The last time I saw them in concert was like '98. I saw the Psycho Circus tour.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh God.
I had
Why?
I had
Dear God,
I
why?
had dude, I had the computer first-person shooter for Kiss Psycho Circus.
Yeah. But
That
I've seen Kiss in concert twice. You know, but I don't regret it. Trying to remember who opened up for him. One time was Slipknot.
Oh God.
What?
You know, before Slipknot was famous.
They open up for Kiss, huh?
Dude, you ever look up who Kiss has played with? Like, dude, it's Peter Frampton, Led Zeppelin, like, not Led Zeppelin, fucking. It's fucking everyone you wouldn't fucking even imagine.
I mean, they broke a lot
Oh,
of
they
they broke
played-
a lot of new bands.
they
I mean,
played
they had
with
Rush
everyone.
opening up for them.
Yeah, Ted Nugent. You know, everyone.
Yeah, but just like anyone you would assume and wouldn't assume they fucking played with.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw
They
a
were good
weird-
friends with Cheap Trick. He had everyone.
I
They
saw a
opened
weird
for Sabbath.
show.
Yeah, in the late '90s, early 2000s is probably when I went to the most shows. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bands I regret not seeing because I spent so many years as a chef that going to shows just wasn't realistic. You couldn't get off time. You couldn't get time off work, and it just is what it is. So, like, my biggest regrets, I never saw Dio. Like, that's like, and I had an opportunity and I had tickets bought, and then the show got canceled and he passed away. So that's the biggest
wow.
regret because I thought I'd made it work out. You know what I mean? But like my biggest regret, like I saw Metallica, you know, like I saw Maiden, I saw Priest. I don't know why the metal shows are always the ones that I wanted to fucking see. I didn't see Led Zeppelin obviously, but I saw Page and Plant. You know, so and they just did a whole bunch of Led Zeppelin songs. Oh, of course, Jimmy Page was absolutely fucking destroyed drunk. Terrible fucking shitty show. But it's still, I saw essentially Led Zeppelin playing concert, and that's fucking pretty cool.
I've seen some pretty sick shows in
Yeah,
the
but-
years.
When I hear like some of these people talk about their shows, they're just like, yeah, dude, fucking in the '80s, I saw fucking Dio, Ozzy Osbourne, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and fucking Rat play in fucking concert. You're like, do what? You're like, yeah, I was 17. It's
I
the
saw
second show
all
I ever
that.
went to them.
Yeah, but I'm older. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
I live,
Yeah.
you know, in New York, but I saw all those bands, and I'm sure
And then-
I know Richard and DJH. You know, a lot of people did, and I know Aaron did. You know,
Oh yeah.
And then I have a lot of friends who are a little bit older than me, or even my age, and they went to CGGBs, and you're just like, you know, just to be able to like say you went to that venue, like. But I have like friends who are just like,
I went
I saw the Ramones
CBGBs.
there 13. Yeah,
I went there when I was 15 to see Agnostic Front. You know, I went there a lot of times, but
yeah. But I just have like
It's a
friends,
dump.
be like, yeah, I saw the. I have friends be like, yeah, I saw the Ramones 15 times, and you're just like, fuck, yeah, that sucks. I didn't, you
I
know.
haven't seen the
And
Ramones,
Eric
like,
says,
three
"Well, I
times.
saw Kiss in '98."
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, man, I saw Kids from '98, man. Come on now.
I consider myself
I
I
lucky.
probably saw the Ramones 12 times. You know,
Hey, I saw Van Halen with Gary Sharon. Fuck you, dude. I saw Van Halen 3,
High
man.
five?
One of the best
Yeah.
shows I saw in the
High
90s.
five, Gary Sharon, man.
see you later, Richard. Have
Yeah.
a good night, brother.
Later, Richard.
I did see a really fucking weird show in like the mid 90s.
Yeah, take care, brother.
We went and saw fucking Sick of It All when they were touring for the Scratch the Surface record.
Mhm.
And they toured with Orange 9mm, who I'd never heard of before, and some band that nobody had ever heard of before at the time called Korn opening.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And, Korn was fucking terrible. Orange 9mm, I didn't understand. Sick of It All was great. There were a lot of fucking white power skinheads there, which was kind of weird, but
Now, did Korn
never
suck
big on-
because they sucked, or did they suck because you didn't like them?
who?
Korn.
They just sucked, dude. It's
They
Korn.
just
man.
they
Come
just
on.
weren't good that
Yeah.
night.
It's Korn. Why, do
Yeah,
I
I've
have
never
to
been
lie
on-
to you?
So
I-
you're saying they suck because you don't like them?
I was never big on new metal, even though I'm like the perfect age for it. But like Korn was kind of the exception of the rule, although I can't really revisit it. But I kind of like Korn at the time. But I remember I was visiting as a kid or younger. Everything's a kid under fucking 25 now. You get older. But
It's a baby.
so I remember visiting my cousin in Wisconsin, and then he used to say, "Hey man, do you like Korn?" And I was like, "What the?" I was like, "What the?" Because we weren't even talking about music. I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about, man? Do I like Korn?" I'm just like, "Yeah, I like grilled cheese. The fuck, I like Korn. What the fuck are you talking about?" And I just remember probably like 9 months later, I was at school and I saw this kid wearing a Korn shirt. Like a cliche. I remember the shirt distinctly because dozens of kids had it. It was like a black shirt that Korn at an angle, all scratchy with a K and everything.
Yeah, wasn't
so,
it
but
like
that's
a
like-
backwards K or something?
Yeah, it was backwards R. But I was like, oh shit! And I realized what my cousin was talking about, and he was like one of the first. Because I remember, because there's just bands like that. Now, don't get me wrong, Korn went on to kind of become a joke or represent a period of time, or the band I'm thinking about, Green Day. They kept on making music. There's some bands, if they stopped making music, they'd be like held to a higher regard, where they just keep on fucking making music. Like if the Black Album was the last album Metallica ever made, and it never was commercially successful, like metalheads would like fucking praise Metallica to all end all be all. But Metallica always had like this Beatles vibe, where some people kind of resent them for getting so popular and being well known. But I remember
I resent them because their music sucked.
The Black Album.
You didn't like you didn't like old school Metallica though?
No, I loved it. I loved up to
Okay,
Master.
yeah.
So
But I remember
Garage
like telling my
Days
friends
was
about
the last thing.
I remember telling my friends about Green Day, and they were just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I remember that's one of the bands in my life where I was telling friends about Green Day, and they're like, "What are you even fucking talking about?" And then they absolutely blew the fuck up, and then they turned into a pile of fucking steaming hot shit. But that's neither here nor there,
I don't think they
I'm thir-
turned. They always were a steaming pile of shit.
I'm 39 though, dude. Like, dude, you're 60, so I don't, I don't remember when flappers were. I don't remember that shit. I didn't grow up with
Yeah, but it was good.
kerosene
It was
cars.
Good
You know what I
punk
mean?
happening at the same time as Green Day. Like, it was just they were the cartoon band that made it.
You say, Eric? Are you trying to say that your first car was not a wind up? Is that what you're trying to say right now?
Aaron's first car ran on kerosene.
Ain't that fuck? Let's not forget
Yeah.
who the elder in this room is right now.
And Aaron's first car, you think there was a trunk, but you'd open it up and it'd actually be a seat that pops up. He had a rumble seat on his
Where the
first fucking
hell?
car.
Where the
Yeah.
hell is Bobby Gas right now?
Yeah, and Aaron's first car had hitches on it in case it wasn't working, or you can hook it up to horses.
Randy's dying for someone just a bit older than he is right
Yeah,
now.
it's
Yeah,
not
Randy's
a
like,
car
yeah,
unless it
that's
has
right.
running boards.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man.
Randy remembers when women got the vote.
Hey, you guys remember? What was that guy's name? He was from Omaha, Nebraska. Older guy.
I love when Randy does this. He does
Hold
this
on,
every
hold on.
time.
This VC
I'll get his name.
reminiscence.
This
XVC.
guy,
Yeah.
he had
No,
like
he
a
had
beard and
cancer.
he had a hat.
He had cancer like 3 times, and he was telling a story where his parents got murdered,
Oh, geez,
it was
I
like
don't remember that.
it was a big news story in his town and stuff. What the hell was that guy's
Is this
name?
turning into a confession? What is this, dude?
I killed.
He had a name like He had a name like Garner, but it was something else. Garen from
Garen.
Omaha.
That sounds made up.
No, Garen from Omaha. He was an older guy. He's probably Bobby's age, or maybe a little bit younger. But anyway, I was watching somebody's video a couple weeks ago, and he commented on it because I haven't heard from that guy in a long time, 3 years. I knew he had cancer, so I thought, maybe something bad happened. But apparently, he's still kicking it, but laying low.
So what was his genre of music? What did he like?
He liked all the 60s, 70s rock, But
See, there's some of those guys I thought I'd make.
His big thing was when he do his vinyl finds, he would always say, I bought this album and I had to buy the CD too, but he'd always buy the album and the CD at the same time, so he had them both.
Yeah, I'm not that guy.
You guys probably know who he is if you see him.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could picture him in my head. I know who you're talking about, but I didn't follow him. But I've
Yeah.
seen him around.
I'm gonna peace out, guys.
All right, you be
No,
easy.
man. Just
Good
getting-
hanging out with you.
Yeah,
just
man.
feel like I'm just getting to know you, man.
It's fucking 10 o'clock, man. I got fucking shit I gotta do still.
So, Eric, do you have a plan with a mustache? What's going on here, man?
It's a fucking beard, dude. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Do you
I
have
just
a
thought that was
plan?
I thought you were sickly. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was beard.
Oh no, that's not a good way.
You're
to say
beautiful,
goodbye
though.
to
You're a
Eric.
beautiful
Don't
man.
do
You're a
that.
beautiful man. Yeah.
Apologize to the fellow.
Just because it's fucking silver here and salt and pepper here. doesn't
See, I'm
mean there's
out.
nothing here.
Yeah. See,
that's
I'm
how mine-
silver. I'm silver in the corners.
You're
So.
getting
How
there,
mine
Eric.
was, Eric,
Eric, a
and then
couple
it
more
all turned
accidents
white.
and you'll be right there with
Yeah,
Eric back.
all I gotta do is if I almost kill myself a couple more times, I'll be
That's
fully
what-
white.
that's
Yeah.
all you gotta
Well,
do.
this whole
When
shit
it-
is
when it-
white and this is all white if I were to take the hat off. But I'm not.
Eric, thanks for coming by, bud. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
man.
you be easy, bud.
Take
Later,
care,
Hey,
homie.
guys.
Love
Thanks for
you,
having me
man.
up.
Later.
Yeah, but some of those old school guys in the VC, man, especially guys who like the same music in the same wheelhouse, I'd never made connection with, and you're just like, damn, dude, like what's his name, the Hog's Ear Report? Like, we got so much overlap in our collection. We like the same shit, and I commented on his videos a dozen times over, and it's like I still see him like leave comments on like Cosmic Brian's channel, and people I'm friends with shows the same type of music or whatever. But there's some people you're just like, for whatever reason, you're just like, I never made a two-way connection with that guy. So maybe it's I'm a loudmouth asshole. There's something I'm saying or doing.
No, you don't take
yeah.
it personal. There's plenty of guys I like that I just don't watch anymore. Or I don't comment just because you can only do so much. It's
Yeah.
not personal.
Yeah.
That's one thing too.
Scott Ward is one of my favorite guys. He's such a good guy. Like, we traded VCLT, but I just don't watch him anymore. But he's got enough watches, so I don't feel too bad. But it's not personal because I really like the guy.
No,
If he lived
no,
next
no.
door, we'd be friends. But
No,
I just
there's-
don't. You got to cut your hours. I can only watch how many
Yeah.
hours.
That's
And
exactly
that-
it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's sometimes what it comes down to, because there's some people you try to be friendly with, and you want to support their channel or whatever. But there's some people where it's just like, dude, nobody's ever obligated to watch my videos and leave comments all the time. But there's a point where you get in the VC for a couple of years, and you're just like, hey, man, like, understanding this is fully 100% a one-way friendship. Like, I've been cutting those people out recently.
I want to apologize now, Eric, because it's
What are you
More-
apologizing for?
more times than not I'm taking a spite shit while I'm watching your video. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
kind of
something
I'm
about seeing my face
focusing-
makes you need a shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of focusing a bit, so I
You're
don't
like, dude,
really. I can't
sometimes, like,
type and
Sometimes I'm really constipated. I don't feel that good, but whenever I see your face, just something about me just makes me
Just-
feel so sick to the stomach that I have to shit.
it
And I'm
just
so
opens
focused
right
on
up.
this, like getting rid of the poison, that I don't comment on your videos because you make me physically sick. All right, right on. All right, cool. Yeah.
I didn't say that. I just said I was pooping while I was watching.
Yeah. No, there's still, but
I gotta
one thing though,
concentrate.
one thing that blows my never ceases to amaze me though in the vinyl community is that you'll just be hanging out some Saturday or whatever, taking a shit and fucking scrolling around on your phone, and you'll see a video, and then someone leaves a comment. It's kind of intelligent, and maybe it's their thumbnail or maybe some pops in your feed, and you'll click on someone, and you'll realize that they've been in the VC for fucking 10 years, They got
Yeah.
1,100 subscribers. They constantly get 4, 5, 6, 700 views a video, and you've never fucking heard of them. I mean, it just gives you an idea of like how big the VC is. So when people get upset, where I've seen people beef in the background, it's like someone's drunk or whatever in the past, like, I know you know who I am, and they're making some weird toxic video, and you're like, dude, the whole world doesn't revolve around you. Like, the VC is full of like so many people, and it's so clicked up between the metal people and the jazz people and the European people and the Canadian VCers, and it's so huge and expansive. And there's also the people that are like predominantly like, I know people that used to be way more active in the vinyl community, and I'll send them a message or whatever, and then they're like, yeah, man, I'm mostly on Instagram. Like, there's a big Instagram VC community.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
people
I mean,
yeah.
that's life. I mean, you can't know everyone every time. You know,
Yeah.
you can't support everyone. Not that you don't want to, but you got to make your choices.
So yeah, you can't even
If
sweat
you had
it.
a house party, you can't invite every single person you knew. It's just the 10 people you last saw or the people you're closest to.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Eric? So we got an Eric in here, and Eric just left, and then we got another Eric that just showed up.
Is
Equilibrium.
it Plastic Eric? What Eric is it?
Plastic Eric, which
What's up, man? How you living, man?
he has a great channel, and he's got good content, and this fucking guy needs more subs. It's fucking a travesty how few subs this guy has for the content he's putting out.
Yeah, he
So
makes
if
good
anybody
content.
listening right now, you want to go sub up Eric Plastic Sound Wave
His
Cult?
brother just changed his channel name.
Yeah, hit him up.
Yeah, so him and his brother. I was watching his brother's video today, where they do the
They do their connection.
connection thing. Yeah.
Yeah, their connection.
So they
videos, which
went
is
from
great.
Led Zeppelin, and then his brother used Stamps. So really rad.
You spoiled it.
No, I so fucking ruined it. Nobody
What are you
watched any of
doing,
their
man? I
channels.
just fucking
They don't
ruined
even
everything I
deserve to
just
live.
said.
I ruined it for you. Fucking A, my bad. Yeah, but technically it was I spoiled his brother's channel. So, but
Yeah, man.
Randy, you
Good to
all
see
right? You're looking a little tired. Is it past your bedtime?
No, I'm gonna subscribe to him.
Oh, he's
All right.
typing.
I'm so.
I'm about to make another drink.
A lot of these guys, I didn't know they had channels.
Yeah. There are quite a few people that hang out on streams that don't have a channel, they just have a channel so they can.
Yeah, a lot of
chat.
people.
Yeah.
Now it's more. It used to not be like that. It used to be almost 100% channel people.
Yeah.
A couple of
I
stray comments.
wonder when that changed.
I guess the live streams during the pandemic. I guess.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. I think it had.
I know
probably a
these
lot to do
people
with live
more
streams.
from the live streams than I do from the channels.
What's up,
Hey,
Chili?
Chili.
Good to see you, man.
Must be morning in Australia or after
Yeah,
work
I
or
was
something.
gonna say. It
probably
might be
got
my
off work.
reminder to wind down soon.
This is usually when Paul comes on for his breakfast.
Yeah, Paul's waking up. Chili got off work. He probably finished dinner.
Yeah, Paul was here a while back. He was here when it was like 3 o'clock in the morning for him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm gonna hit the hay too, man.
well, I think we're going to push it a few more minutes. I think it makes sense, and why don't we hang? I want you to hang out for 5 more minutes, Randy, and we'll all end it together at the same exact time.
All right, 5 minutes.
Yeah, but
Did I get 5 minutes?
yeah.
me get my
So,
timer
what do
going
you
here.
think of the John and Randy? What do you think of the dual turntable, dual video thing going on?
I don't like it, man. It's just too precise for me.
Randy said, "I'm out now. It's just going to be you and John."
On
That's
account
what I
of
told him.
that.
Yeah, I don't want to do the duel myself, but good for you. I mean, it helps because you do a lot of streaming, non-Hydra streaming. I like the stopping and showing like Randy does, and I, like you do too.
Yeah.
But it's professional to have 2 turntables. I'm not going to deny that.
Well, you
I
had a
didn't-
turntable in the garage, so you might as well hook it up.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go out of my way, really. It's not.
No,
like
you don't need-
$700 on a table or anything.
It's even if you did, I mean, more power to you. You want to improve your channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, people dig the content, so
I'm just
try to-
kidding, Aaron. I'm just jealous, man. That's all it is.
Please look at all the shit behind you, like you're jealous of what I got going on in my pantry.
No,
So that's
cool.
what that is. That's your pantry behind you.
It was a pantry, yeah. But Eric, I got so many fucking cabinets in my kitchen that I couldn't possibly use them all. So I figured, why do I need a fucking pantry when I already got 700 cabinets in my kitchen?
So your record room is your kitchen?
My kitchen is my record room.
I'm with that there day. Shit, you're fucking cooking. You're spinning. Well, dude, my house is so tiny. Everything's my kitchen. Yeah, you're just a doorway away. Everything, yeah. So
Yeah. No, I got like a big open floor plan. I showed my place before, real quick. But
I don't know what I said. That's not necessarily true, but I'll defer to you, London Bridges.
he's got a. What does he know? He's got a hamburger.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember. I don't remember a minute ago.
probably shit up Big Mac, dude. Bring back the Arch Deluxe.
So John, that little tiff you got in over at Rachel's, I finally figured out who that guy was. I know who you're talking about now. He's kind of being a jerk.
I was cranky. I mean, I was probably uncalled for. I was cranky, but
yeah, but
I don't like that. Like,
there was a lot of
do you
people.
have
putting
this?
him in.
Do you have this, Randy? Do you have this single? You haven't heard of this? I can't. Oh, you haven't heard of this? Like, I'm like, we all could do that. Like, and
I remember. I was over there the other day.
He did that to that girl Nadine, who has like this giant soul collection, knows more about soul and disco than I would know in 10 lifetimes. Yeah. And he was just like basically testing her, and he did it to every person. And he was on with Rachel, and he's like, "Oh, Howlin' Wolf, you don't know who Hubert Sumlin is? Like the guitar player." Like,
right?
I know, but like, not, you don't to kind of corner someone about that,
right?
And then Bobby Gass comes on, and he doesn't know Bobby Gass, and he starts asking about some 70s blues band, like bar band I never heard of. And that's when I lost it. I'm like, Bobby hung out with Willie Dixon. Like, he knows Howlin' Wolf. He's seen more blues than you know. You've never met this guy, and you question him. Oh, you haven't heard this 70s band, like bar band? And
right.
I just got, I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. He seems like a really nice guy, but I was cranky. And
well, even Davis,
you don't quiz people. You learn who they are. You respect people.
Not till they get that. That's
the fucking game.
That's one of my biggest.
I went over there, and Davis was there giving him shit. He's like, dude, so because he said something like, he goes, well,
Davis came on and he was questioning him like a couple of days ago. He's questioning about his rap. Oh, you like rap? And Davis is like, I was fucking 9 years old. I don't know this band. He's like, oh, do you know this? It's kind of funny with Davis, but
that guy came on. He goes, well, he wouldn't be talking to me like that if we met in person. He goes,
is this the guy on the screen?
300 pounds. I'm built like a linebacker, and then
is this guy on screen or in the peanut gallery?
Yeah, he was on screen. So he says, Davis says, so this is what you do. It's funny because I can't remember how he said it, but Davis says, so this is how you do. You go up, when you don't get along with somebody, you threaten them with your size. I mean, he was putting him into his place.
Oh, that makes big bros look bad. Fuck that guy. Don't be that big bro that
you have a record. You say, hey, I got this. Like, this is cool. Like, check this out. You don't go like, do you have this? And then like that poor girl Nadine, who's like, just the fact that she's a chick and she's from Germany and she's this massive American soul collection is impressive enough. She doesn't need to be on defense because this guy's pulling out his 10 soul records. So,
yeah.
And like, oh, you have this, but what pressing do you have? And it was bothering me. And then I was just in a really bad mood. I was in a good mood, but I get cranky in the morning. So
that's one of my biggest pet peeves. And even more so, like even prior to the vinyl community or whatever, I remember, being young and single and having people over, and record collection's kind of a novelty. And at that time, you have like 800-900 records or whatever. And you tell someone like, pick out a record and like whatever you want to play. And then they're like, flip through your collection and the collection, and they're telling you everything you don't have. Oh, you don't have this album? Or you'll say like right now, I own every Blue Cheer except for New and Improved. And people's like flipping around, like you have like fucking 5 Blue Cheer albums, but they're like, oh, you don't have this?
Yeah, that's an asshole.
With Randy Holden?
That's an asshole because the older I get, the more I know I don't know. Like, it's just so much I don't know. Aaron will pull out record after record I don't have, but he doesn't taunt me about it, And
we all do.
You can't know everything.
That's supposed to be the endearing part of what we're doing here.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to be what are you fucking stupid? You don't own this. It's more like, dude, I never heard this before.
And you can't read the room. Like, why would the Waxed or Rachel know who Hubert Sumlin is? The guitar player from Howlin' Wolf. It's just, you don't realize. Like I we could do this all day, pulling out things that other people don't know, but
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And
It's
all
fun
it
showing
comes down to,
things,
we
not
know what
not
we like.
cornering
that's
them
what it
and
is.
question them, and that bothers me.
Eric's telling
Yeah,
some
yeah.
story about giving a hand job to Bjork, and he doesn't get upset when people think it's some Icelandic woman. He's like, no, this is a grown man. His last name's Bjork. I gave him a tugger. Like, I respect him a lot. Nobody's upset by it. You know what I mean?
I think that's a good place to end this stream.
Yeah.
I had a great time hanging out
Guy,
today, man.
guy hand jobs? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Okay.
the best segue ever to get out of
Yeah,
this.
guy on guy hand jobs.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the tunes tonight and the new
Mm-hmm.
setup and
Yeah,
everything.
and was it your birthday today, or whatever?
It's,
Happy birthday!
It's Saturday. It's Saturday.
Okay, cool. Happy birthday.
Thanks,
Yeah, I
John. I
told him
appreciate it.
Happy birthday last Saturday.
Hey, I'm just proud of you.
Randy told me a week before.
I'm proud you can still remember your birthday.
It's what happens when you get old. If it wasn't tattooed on my arm, I wouldn't know what the fuck I was looking at. But I hope you guys enjoyed the tunes tonight. We got Ryan's coming up on Saturday, and then the Saturday after, hopefully we can get Randy or John up here back for Hydra. And
So what's the deal? Ryan's not going to be there Saturday?
I don't think Doc's going to be there Saturday.
No, it's Doctor and Haggis.
Oh,
Is it?
okay. Maybe.
Haggis is what's his name? Is it
Stevie.
Yeah,
I guess
Stevie.
you'll have to tune in to find out. Yeah, but
Yeah.
thanks for hanging out, Randy, coming by and
All
supporting
right.
the show.
Thanks for having us, man.
John.
See you
thanks for
later,
coming by,
Vance,
brother.
Gary, DJH, whoever's left, Chili,
Yep, the
London
guy with the
Bridges.
hamburger for the
London
Avatar.
Bridges,
Thanks for coming by, hamburger guy.
Nathaniel,
Adrian,
Adrian.
and Zepp, and Nate. Thanks for coming by. DJH, Gary, everybody. I appreciate the support. Not this Saturday. Next Saturday we'll have Hydra 16. So hopefully John and Randy will have some time to come on up.
Yeah, I
and
hope
hang
I'm
out.
here. Nice, sweet 16.
Definitely. But Eric, thanks for coming by, homie, and hanging out. I'll talk to you soon on the phone. We'll catch up on some Motorhead
Yeah,
talk
shit,
as
no
usual.
sweat, man. Yeah. We'll catch up in the near future, man.
Yep. And
Later,
until
guys.
then,
All right, I'm out.
take care, everybody. See you
Take
later.
care, be easy. Rock on. All that jazz.